When I was a teenager, I was locked in the room at the Church of Scientology in London. Crying, I reached for the door handle, only to be told by an ethics officer, "You can't leave the room until you've written down everything you've done wrong." Scientology was everything to me, and I was all consumed. And it wasn't until 6 years after I left that I realized the long-term damage it had done to me and my mental health. Countless stories exist about how Scientology destroys lives, tears families apart, and takes advantage of the old and the vulnerable. This is the reality of what goes on in Scientology and what is going on right now under all of our noses in every city, in every country, pretty much in the world. And this is why I'm speaking out. Irrespective of what's happened today, the fact of the matter is this: Scientology continues to thrive on the control and manipulation it asserts over people's lives. It spews hatred against anybody and everybody who speaks out, and continues to try and intimidate critics and former members into silence. They will not succeed. Earlier this month, I led a protest outside Scientology's UK headquarters that carried a message of care and compassion. In response, the church released a statement saying I'm a nobody who joined a hate group online. Nothing could be further from the truth. This community has time and time again demonstrated an overwhelming amount of love, care, and support for people recovering from the wrath of destruction Scientology has caused in their lives. That is what is important to me, and that is why I'm doing what I do. We don't all have to get along, and we don't all have to be friends, but let's not forget we are united on the same mission, united in a fight against evil. I don't want to turn this into a big discussion about my thoughts on certain things that have gone on. Today has been a big day in SPTV, and I just wanted to put this out and just say I carried a message of care and compassion, love and support at the protests the other week, and that's the message that I'm going to continue to carry. And anything that is not supportive of that is not something I can get behind. So if you guys have any issues with what I'm doing, I've lost a bunch of subscribers today, I don't care, because what I'm trying to do is show that love and compassion, and I just want to make sure we don't lose sight of that. You know, only a couple of weeks ago I missed a live stream with Amy Scobie, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of love and compassion and support that was out there from you guys to make sure I was okay. You know, the amount of love and support and compassion that came through in the lead up to the protest, during the protest, and afterwards. That's what's important to me, and that's what I'm going to focus on, because that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So look, that's my message, guys. If you want to ask me questions, now's your chance. It is late here, so I'm not going to be on for hours and hours, but I just wanted to pop in and just say, guys, what's important is Scientology and what it's currently doing right now in every city, in every country. And that's where I'm focusing my energy, in that fight, because that's what's important. You know, we all have personal disagreements. We all have things that happen that we don't like, we don't agree with. Doesn't matter. We don't all have to be best buds, but we are all on the same side. We're on the same team. You know, I carried a message on one of the placards at the protest that said we're united against Scientology, because that's what we are. We are united. We're all trying to do the same thing here. So thank you. Hello to everybody in the chat. PTS for life. You're still so handsome in my eyes. Share your secret. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Maggot, thank you. You're a great person. Keep up all the inspiring work. Much respect. I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's what I mean. That's why this is important. It's not the infighting. It's not the disagreements. It's not he said, she said. It's what we're trying to do here. And if you're watching my channel, if you're watching any other SVTV channel, you know, you're supporting us in that mission. And that's what's important, not personal disagreements. You know, I could say a million things about my personal views on different creators and what's gone on behind the scenes, but I'm not going to because it's not important. What's important is what we're trying to do, and that's help people. Let's not forget that. We're trying to help people here, right? That's the key thing. And C, Alex, you have your priorities in order. Thank you. And that's the thing, it's priorities, right? That's the most important thing. Thank you so much. So much support here in the community. Terry Ray, I haven't seen any side talking about choosing sides. I'm not sure why people think they have to. Exactly. Binary thinking is a cult thing. That's what we had to do in Scientology is you're either with us or against us, die in the attempt. And none of the creators, Aaron, Mark, Claire, Mike, like no one has ever said you have to choose a side and support Aaron or support the aftermath. Like you don't have to choose a side. You can support anyone you like. You can watch as many or as little channels as you want to. You can subscribe to who you want and unsubscribe. That's a personal choice. No one here is saying you have to be on this side or this side. You know, we're all trying to do the same thing, and you can like my content, you can like someone else's content, you can not like my content. That's fine. Doesn't matter. What's important is the mission. We'll all try and do the same thing. Dr. T. Matt, I just don't like mean people. Exactly. Love and compassion will win the fight. That's what is going to win at the end of the day. And that's what I want us as a community to show in this moment is not discrepancy, division, divide, but remember, we're all here and the emotions are heightened because we're all trying to do that. We're all passionate, right? We all have so much to say about this topic of Scientology, right? We all want the same thing to happen. And let's just not lose sight of that. You know, every minute and every time, like amount of time spent bickering about infighting and stuff that's gone on over the last couple of months, you know, is time that's not being spent focusing on the mission of helping people, right? And exposing the horrific crimes and abuses that are going on inside Scientology right now. I also want to remind you that if you are a US taxpayer, you are currently subsidizing Scientology's activities. They are tax exempt in the United States, which means the millions of dollars they spend on following people with private investigators, on writing press statements about how I'm part of a hate group, on trolling people and spewing hundreds of messages of hatred against myself, against Mark, Claire, Amy, every single person. That's all being funded by the Church of Scientology through tax-exempt dollars. That's what's important, and that's what we need to focus on. You should be outraged if you're not outraged, right? That your money is being used for this purpose, whether you like it or not. And that's what I want to do, is put a stop to that. People can believe what they want. You can be a Scientologist. I don't care. But the abuse and the hatred has to stop. Scientology is full of hatred. All it does is put out messages all day, every day of hatred, causing division and divide on Twitter, online, and so on. My channel, at least, is not about hatred. So if you're going to bring that in here in the live chat, please leave. I don't want you here. This is not a community of hatred. It's a community of love. I definitely sound like a hippie. I swear I'm not. Laura Waldy, thank you so much for the super chat. Love and compassion will win the fight. That is the perfect message. Thank you. I totally agree. Rexican Messler, thank you so much for the super sticker. Lorna, Alex, your love and compassion is inspiring. Thank you for being you. Thank you. And look, let's not forget that these guys have been fighting Scientology for decades, right? Mark, Mike, Claire, Aaron, Amy, they've all been speaking out for a very, very long time. This is not the first time that there's been controversy, there's been division, there's been divide. This is one of many things that have gone on in the history of the anti-Scientology movement. Let's not get consumed in a current matter that is causing division. You don't have to choose a side. You can support Aaron. You can also support the Aftermath Foundation. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can do both or neither. It's completely fine. That's your choice. And choice is something that you don't have in Scientology. The fact that you are able to make that choice is something that has been taken away from so many people around the world because of Scientology. The fact that you can choose to listen or watch any YouTube channel that you want to is something that I don't think we should take for granted. Scientologists can't, people in the sea can't watch YouTube or, comment on things publicly or share their voices or explain how they feel or think about something. That power of choice and that discussion and debate is not something that exists in Scientology. And that's something that we need to remind ourselves of. Let's use our voice and let's use that power of choice that we have for good and focus on helping people leave Scientology and recover from Scientology and exposing what they're doing right now around the world. Batgoat, thank you so much for the super chat. Cool, Alex, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate all of your support. And look, at the end of the day, let's look at the facts. The Aftermath Foundation has helped dozens of people leave and escape Scientology and land on their feet. That's a fact. It has happened. They have done that, and they will continue to do that. So, if you want to do something, you may not agree with Aaron or the Aftermath or whatever. It doesn't matter. Look at the facts. That charity exists to help people. It has helped people and it will continue to help people. So you don't have to be buddy with everybody, but support the mission. If that's what you really want, if you want to join us in this fight, just remember that that's what the Aftermath Foundation is doing. And that's what they have done. Thank you so much, everybody. I am not going to ramble on for too much about this. I think there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions that have kind of thrown in their 2 cents about this, but I just wanted to jump in and just remind everybody we're all trying to do the same thing, and what's important is we're helping people. Thank you so much.